And now joining us to talk about the issue of increased drug usage among youth and NDLEA's decision to partner with NYC in testing youth. We have Barrister Amaatinmi, who is a private law practitioner, joining us to talk about this topic. Good evening and thank you so much for joining us at this time.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure joining you.
Okay, all right. So what's your take on the mandatory drug test for Corp members, which the chairman and CEO of NDLEA has advocated?
Now, it's right that the use of drugs in this country has become a pandemic that needs to be quickly addressed, especially among young people and even the elderly. So for me, I welcome that move. And there is every need for us to preserve our nation from anything that will hamper development in this country. There have been huge abuse of drugs in this country. And we are living with the effects of that. So you see instances of kidnapping, instances of armed robbery and all of that. They are some of the effects of drug abuse. Because most times people who indulge in some of these acts of criminality cannot do that in their sane mind. So they need to be under the influence of drugs for them to be emboldened, for them to be courageous to carry out some of these acts of criminality. So for me, I think it's a very good move for the NDLEA to partner with the NYC to checkmate some of the abuse of drugs. And I think the move should transcend beyond NYC because we have a lot of abuse even among our politicians, so if it is possible, INEC and the National Assembly should push towards making it more of a mandatory requirement in our electoral laws. For anyone vying to occupy any public position, such a person should submit himself to be examined medically to have such person fit and proper for the person to govern the affairs of this country.
Okay, all right. So do you think this action, when fully implemented, after probably being reviewed by the NYC, do you think it could curb drug abuse among Nigerian youth?
Yeah, it will go a long way. It may not completely eradicate the abuse of drugs by Nigerian youth, but it will go a long way. So by the time one is very mindful of the fact that intake of drugs, once or participation as the NYC, it will go a long way in sending the right signal to the young Nigerians that yes, these are some of the things that will affect you by the time you begin to abuse drugs. And then, like the other point I mentioned, I emphasize the issue of those seeking to lead us. I think something is very fundamentally wrong with our leaders. I think some of them are under the influence of drugs. So if the National Assembly deems it necessary, it should be part of the electoral requirement of this country that anyone aspiring to lead us, whether in an elected or appointed position, such a person must submit his or herself to be tested and certified that such a person is not under the influence of alcohol or any drugs, so that we have leaders who will rule us decently, leaders who will rule us without any influence of any drugs or under whatever intoxication that will affect the person raised as a rational human being. So I think it's a move that will greatly help improve the sanity we have in this country. And by the time youth begin to see that drug abuse have consequences, drug abuse will affect them from participating in things that are very crucial to their employability in the nation. It will go a long way in helping us to meet some of the excesses we are seeing today.
Okay, all right. We really thank you for joining us at this time and sharing your thoughts with us. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much for the opportunity.